Hello and welcome to Dr. Kalam's Academy. Today I will discuss a very important topic in ethics paper, that is values. Values is the most important topic in ethics paper. This is a brief about me. I scored the All India top mark of 124 marks in 2015, and after that I have written two books on ethics, integrity and aptitude. I take this opportunity to announce our new batches. One starting on June 5th, that is an online course for just 10,000 rupees for first 50 students, and another starting from July 1st for, for just 50,000 rupees. This is also for the first 50 students. If you have got any doubts, any queries, you can just call the number below. Coming to the topic, this is our syllabus. If I explain each and every topic of this syllabus to begin with, you may get confused. So what I do is I will just explain some of the concepts. After that, I will explain the whole syllabus. Values, the most important topic in ethics paper. Values has to be understood with two important topics, that is attitude and ethics or morals. Along with that, you also have to take into consideration of another topic, that is aesthetics. This is not in the syllabus to have a better understanding. So you have to understand how attitude, ethics or morals and aesthetics are derived from values. Values is the central tenet of your syllabus. Values is the linchpin from which all other things emerge. So, by just seeing the syllabus, you can appreciate the importance of values and other three topics which I have told. That is values, ethics, morals, and attitude. The things which you see in red indicate the topic which I have told you. So, almost you can see everywhere in the syllabus. Before we get into values, we have to understand one of the most important concept, that is preferences. Because in fact, values and preferences have a link. Let us see what is the link. What do you understand by preference? When I say that I prefer over B, what does that mean? When do you use the word preference? Just think it over. Pause the video for a while and think it over. When do you use the term preference? Then, just for a while, think, is there any relevance or is there interconnection between preference, interest, and values? I repeat, is there any link, interconnectivity between preference, interest, and values? Yes. In fact, interests and values emerge from preferences. How are they related? When your preferences have the basis in liking, then it becomes your interest. When your preferences have the basis in importance, they become values. Very important concept, please internalize. When your preferences have basis in liking, then that is your interest. When your preferences have basis in importance, then they are your values. I am interested in something. So what does this shows? It shows that you like that. I value freedom. What does this mean? It shows freedom is important to you. We'll explain these things in detail when we get into topic. To brush up the things what I have said, interests. Interests are preferences based on liking, and interests are object tied. Interests are object tied, mean to say that interests are tied to a object. They are not general. I'm interested in that object. I'm interested in that work. So you are specifying the things. So they are object tied and specific. So interests are specific, object tied, and they have a basis in liking. Next, values. Values are the preferences based on importance. Values are not object tied. Values are not object tied. Say, for example, freedom. You cannot tie freedom to any object. Independence, patriotism, good, bad, they cannot be tied to any individual, any object. So values are not object tied. Then they are global. They are universal in nature. They are global means they are universal. They are not tied to an object, and values are the preferences based on importance. This is just a background for values. Then next, are preferences, interests, and values interconnected? Is there any interconnection between these three, or are they independent? Preferences can become interests, and interests can become values. As I said, preferences become interests, but they are object tied, they are specific. But when interests, when they become global, when they are not object tied, when they become permanent, when they become dominant, then your interest becomes your values. Please understand the link. When interest become global, when interests are not tied to an object, when they become dominant, your interest become your values. Then coming to values. So what is that key thing about values? There are more than thousands of definitions. Students often get confused with the meaning of value. Values means importance. Values are those things or objects that are important to you. I reiterate, I repeat again, very important, please internalize. Those things which are important to you are your values. Anything, it may be a it may object, person, abstract concept, anything. If it is important to you, that is your value. If anything is important to society, then it is societal value. So here the very important term is importance. Values is equal to importance. Please internalize this. These are many ways of defining. This is the basic, this is the standard, the most simple and the most authentic definition. Then we'll be dealing these three in detail. Before that, I would just like to pour some light on this so that you develop the concepts well when we discuss these topics in our future lectures. All the values are not in the form of good or bad. Some values cannot be considered or cannot be gauged with the parameter of good and bad. These are known as aesthetics. Music is one such example. So, aesthetic cannot be said to be good or bad. Say, for example, music. Can you say that some music is good? Can you say that some music is bad? No. Music may be more soothing to you, or it may be irritating, but you can't say music is good or bad. Other example for aesthetic is art. Art cannot be said to be good or bad. The other dimension is when values are taken in the form of good and bad, then it becomes your ethics and morals. When you see values with the parameter of good and bad, then it becomes your ethics and morals. Next, when your values are tied to an object, then it becomes your attitude. Then it becomes your attitude. My dear students, please internalize this. Please internalize these three concepts, think it over. If you have got any doubt, you message me and I will clear all your doubts in our next session and we will go deep into these concepts. Thank you.